Part 4. I am the strongest officer of the Straw Hats. Author, Super Red. Chapter 31. Unnamed Desert Island. Boom. A huge roar sounded from the island. It's been a month, has Lieutenant General Garp caught the Straw Hats? Damn it, haven't you noticed that the noise of the fighting has been getting louder during this time? You mean Lieutenant General Garp is training them? Heroes are human beings too, how could they capture their own grandson? Yes, if it were us, I wouldn't be able to do it. Train and don't get outdone by a bunch of brats. On the warship, the naval soldiers spontaneously began training. The fighting on the island has calmed down. Boy Bayou, you and I should join the Navy. Pirates are not suitable for you. Garp extended the invitation very seriously. The main reason is that Bayou's talent is too strong. In just 1 month, he mastered the haki of knowledge and haki and the haki of weapon. Not only that, he also learned all 6 naval styles. He became after so many years in the Navy, I have seen countless geniuses. But there is really no one who can compare with Bayou, not even Aokiji and Akainu. Thank you, Lieutenant General Garp, I prefer the freedom of pirates to the Navy. Bayou refused very simply. Forget it, I'm too lazy to talk to you. It's almost time. I'm going to sleep on the boat. You can't escape secretly. Garp said as he glanced at Luffy, sighed and turned around to leave. Grandpa, where are you going? Luffy shouted. Garp stopped and looked back at Luffy. Luffy, don't get caught by Grandpa again. No way. I am very strong now. Luffy shouted confidently. In this month, Bayou is not the only one who has become stronger. Everyone's combat power has more than doubled. The most important thing is that everyone has mastered haki. Only then is the most crucial thing. However, Nami and Usopp only mastered the haki of seeing and hearing, and did not master the haki of armed color. Luffy, Zoro and Sanji all mastered the haki of armed color and the haki of seeing and hearing. Although it is only a beginner level, it is already very rare to be able to master it within a month. The power of 5 people is superimposed on Bayou's body. It can be imagined how strong Bayou's strength is. Garp did not speak, turned around and left. Okay, friends, we are about to set off. Bayou said. We can't defeat Grandpa, how can we get out? Luffy's face suddenly turned ugly. He had wanted to leave for a long time, but every time he wanted to leave, he was beaten by Garp. You idiot, your grandpa is gone, so he is letting us go. Didn't you listen to him and don't let him catch you again? Nami knocked Luffy on the head. So that's it, let's run. Luffy's eyes suddenly lit up. Lieutenant General Garp. I'm tired, rest here for a day before setting off, don't disturb my sleep. After Garp finished speaking, he lay directly on the plywood and fell asleep. At this time, the Golden Merly slowly left the island. The Straw Hats have escaped. Go call Lieutenant General Garp. What are you shouting for? Didn't you hear that Lieutenant General Garp was sleeping? We didn't see anything, you know. Yes. After the naval soldier finished speaking, he pretended that he had not seen anything and continued training. Finally escaped from Grandpa's hands. Luffy breathed a sigh of relief, fell onto the bow of the ship, raised his hands, and shouted loudly, partners. Let's rush towards the Grand Route together. Head for the Grand Route. The 5 people shouted in unison. Bayou was also a little excited. Entering the Grand Line is the real starting point. The exciting adventure has just begun. Have you ever felt that the current seems to be getting faster? Usopp said suddenly. Well, the entrance to the Grand Line should be right ahead, upside down mountain. Nami glanced at the chart and said, we should have started going up the mountain. We must be careful next, otherwise we will be shattered to pieces. The boat can also climb mountains. This is really my first experience. Zoran is also looking forward to it. I have heard that Upside Down Mountain is the burial ground for pirates. Most of the pirates were buried in Upside Down Mountain. Sanji said and took a puff of cigarette. What? This is too dangerous. Let's find another way. Usopp was immediately frightened. There is no other way, except here, through the windless zone, which is the paradise of sea kings. Our ship cannot cross, and we have now entered the current and cannot return. Bayou explained at the side. Well, I have asked Lieutenant General Carp for advice in the past few days. As long as we find the water flow, we can safely enter the Grand Line. Nami nodded. Although she was also practicing this month, she spent more time reading navigation knowledge. If she didn't understand something, she asked Garp. So she also learned a lot of knowledge. Regarding crossing the Upside Down Mountain, also very confident. Look. It's a red mountain. Luffy shouted excitedly. Usopp, Sanji. I'll leave it to you to take the helm. Luffy, Zoro, please furl the sails. Nami began to give orders. Why doesn't Bayou have to do anything? Sanji said, very dissatisfied. Why do you have an opinion? Bayou looked at Sanji with an unkind look. I wanted to ask the deputy captain what he would like to eat later. Sanji suddenly thought of what he had experienced in the past month and quickly changed his mind. Even though he said that, Bayou didn't do nothing. Does he know the danger here? If he is not careful, the ship will be destroyed and people will be killed. With the concerted efforts of the 6 people, they finally entered the rising current without any danger. But after reaching the top of the mountain, when going down the river, a huge whale opened its mouth at the entrance of the water, as if waiting for food. Big discount on reading books during Dragon Boat Festival. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP points. Grab a deposit now. Activity time, June 22nd to June 24th. I am the strongest officer of the Straw Hats. Author, Super Red. Chapter 32. Saw such a huge whale. All 6 people were frightened. Although Bayou knew Rebu, he was still a little shocked to see such a big whale with his own eyes. Stinky whale. Get out of my way quickly. Luffy shouted loudly. It's over. We're going to be eaten by whales. Bayou. Think of a solution quickly. Usopp hugged Bayou's thigh in fear. If you dare to wipe your nose on my pants again, I will cut off your long nose. Bayou was very depressed. Usopp, that bastard, would hug his thigh every time he was scared. Just hug him, because every time his nose and tears would be wiped on his pants. It's better to chop him to death, sexy chef. How about whale cuisine? Zoran unsheathed 3 swords and prepared to chop the whale to death. If it's this big, it should taste delicious. Sanji took a puff of cigarette, already thinking about how to eat this whale. You all, please be honest with me. Nami knocked each of them on the head. Nami is right, unless you can chop this whale into pieces instantly, otherwise, it will be us who die. Bayou looked at these people speechlessly. If the whale dies, they will definitely hit the whale. At the current speed, the golden melee will definitely be shattered into pieces. And he knows that there is something in the belly of the whale Rab. There lives a strong man. The most important thing is that new members are coming on board. Everything can be missed, but the new crew cannot be missed. Then we can't just enter the whale's mouth, right? Luffy said, very depressed. Why not? Don't worry, nothing will happen. Bayou smiled mysteriously. He really wanted to meet One Piece's ship's doctor. At this moment, the ship had rushed into the whale's mouth. Ah! With a scream, it disappeared into the whale's mouth. The surrounding area was pitch black. Taking nothing lightly, Nami hugged Bayou tightly in fear. Suddenly there was light. There was also a blue sky and even seagulls. Is this an illusion? Usopp said in surprise. Why is there a house here? Sanji also felt a little strange. Boom. The huge king squid rushed out. Is this also an illusion? Usopp's eyes widened. Poof. 3 spears penetrated the body of the giant squid. This shouldn't be an illusion, right? Nami said with some fear. Uncle, where is this? Luffy shouted loudly. The old man raised his head and glanced at Luffy, before asking others questions. Shouldn't you state your name? My name is Monkey D. Luffy, and I am the man who wants to become the Pirate King. Luffy's daily self-introduction. Oh, One Piece? That's not a small tone. The old man adjusted his glasses. Stop looking down on others. Want to fight? Luffy was very angry when he saw the old man's expression. Don't do it, people will die. The old man said and lay down on the chair. Stinky old man. I want to fight you. Luffy clenched his fists and was about to rush over. Be honest and understand the situation first before speaking. Baiyu held down Luffy. Only he can hold down Luffy at this time. Why don't the seagulls here stay still? Usopp discovered the problem. Nonsense, this is a painting, old man. If I guess correctly, this is the stomach of a whale, right? Baiyu said. Yes, this is indeed Rab's stomach. If you want to leave, the door is there, so go ahead. The old man pointed to an iron door. Why is there a painting and an iron door in the whale's stomach? And how come you, an old man, live here? Nami asked a series of questions. A doctor's pastime. The old man smiled. Stinky old man, are you a doctor? Luffy asked in surprise. Well, I have opened a clinic and served as a ship's doctor on a pirate ship, so I have some experience. The old man nodded. Baiyu looked at this old man speechlessly. He really knows how to pretend. How can he be an ordinary person when he can work as a ship doctor on One Piece's ship? Looking at everything in front of him, it has been explained. Then you can be our ship's doctor. We don't have a ship's doctor yet. Luffy immediately sent out an invitation. Forget it, I'm already old and don't have the energy to go out there like you. The old man shook his head helplessly. Oh, that's such a shame. Before Luffy could finish his words, the boat started to shake. Is this an earthquake, when? Fool. This is the stomach of a whale, how could there be an earthquake? Nami knocked Luffy on the head. Start it again. The old man sighed helplessly, stood up, put the newspaper on the table, and jumped directly into the green water. It must be stomach acid here. Is the old man trying to commit suicide? Sanji looked at the old man in shock. This old man is not an ordinary person. How could he die so easily? Baiyu shook his head. He knew very well that the whale Rab must have started hitting the red earth again. The old man climbed up the iron door. As soon as he opened the door, there was a violent shaking. Bang! The iron door opened and 2 people flew in, fell directly into the stomach acid. Help! The 2 people immediately shouted loudly. What a hassle! Baiyu's 2 arms were long and he pulled the 2 people up. Finally in. Just fire 2 shots here and the whale should be dead. Well, Mr. 9, let's go. A man and a woman said as they picked up the cannon and prepared to bomb the whale's stomach. How dare you villains come here? The old man was also very angry when he saw the 2 people. Bang! Luffy knocked them out instantly. Luffy! How could you attack such a beautiful lady? How ungentlemanly! Sanji asked Luffy loudly. No reason, I just suddenly want to hit them. Luffy said very directly. You can go out from here. The old man opened the door. A passage appeared. Why is there a passage in the belly of a whale? Nami was shocked. This can be regarded as a doctor's pastime, the old man said slowly. However, they still drove out along the passage. The stomach acid of the whale is very corrosive, and the small wooden boat cannot hold on for long. The fresh air they breathed gave everyone a sense of survival. The feeling. Woohoo, the whale screamed. It's so sad, Luffy said as he looked at the whale. Rab is an island whale who has human emotions and has been here waiting for a group of pirates for 50 years. The old man told the story of Rab the whale. After Luffy heard the story, he immediately rushed out. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I am the strongest officer of the Straw Hats. Author, Super Red. Chapter 33. Boom. Luffy punched Rab in the eye. Labu felt pain instantly and became angry. What is this bastard going to do again? Nami roared angrily. Hurry up and sail. Bayou said immediately. Although they are not afraid of Rabu, but such a big whale moves in the sea. The Golden Mary will definitely be destroyed. Bang. Luffy was knocked out by Rabu and hit the stone wall. Stupid whale. Luffy smiled and punched the whale again. Then he was knocked away by the whale. What is Luffy doing? Did he want to kill Rab? Usopp couldn't understand what Luffy was going to do at all. Look, Luffy knows what he's doing. Bayou was also a little surprised. He didn't expect that the plot here has not been changed. This is still very good. We're tied, Luffy said, and Rabu stopped attacking. I'm very strong. You must still want to fight me. Let's continue fighting after I sail on the Grand Route for a week. Luffy stood up. This is our agreement. I will definitely be back. You. Rab started to cry. What a messy guy. The old man glanced at Luffy, with a smile on his face. The two people who were knocked unconscious by Luffy also woke up. What kind of monster is this guy? He won't die even if he does this. With such strength, the reward should not be too low. Our mission failed. If we deceive them, the boss may not punish us. The two people looked at each other and made a decision immediately. Bayou knew what the two people wanted to do. But he didn't stop him. Wei is a rather embarrassing existence. Although he is said to be a member of the Straw Hats, he is not halfway through Get Off the Ship. However, he doesn't care about that now, as long as he can acquire skills. The most important thing is that Wei is a beauty. Who would refuse a beauty? The key is that Wei is the only princess in the kingdom of Alabasta. If he marries as for Wei, that is the king who came for us. What's wrong with having one more beautiful woman on the pirate ship? After a short period of repair, the Straw Hat pirates are ready to leave the Twin Gap. Have you decided which route to choose? The old man asked. Well, they said they were going to Whiskey Peak, so let's start there. Luffy said very casually. You have to think carefully. You can only choose a route at the starting point. Once you start, you cannot change the route. The old man reminded me kindly. Whatever, if you are not satisfied, just sail for a week. Luffy chuckled. Then I wish you good luck. The old man said and returned to his room. Set off. Luffy jumped onto the bow of the boat and shouted loudly. Woohoo! The whale Rab also screamed twice happily. Filibuster! Wait for our return. Luffy shouted to Rabu. Woohoo! Whale Rabu nodded happily. Set sail. Officially embarked on the Grand Line, the six of them were in a very good mood. The moods of Wei and Mr. Nine it's also good. Although the mission failed, they successfully deceived this group of pirates into the town. Not only will they not be punished, but they can also make a lot of money. Saw the island. Luffy shouted excitedly. There seem to be a lot of people, something is wrong. Zoro looked at the people on the dock with very wary eyes. Thank you for sending us back. Grateful. Bye now. After talking to MR9, Wei jumped directly into the sea and swam away. What two strange people. Nami muttered. Could this be a trap? Usopp said with some fear. You'll know if it's a trap or not. Baiyu naturally knows the situation here. However, he is not in a hurry to expose it. After all, who would refuse a place where you can eat, drink and have fun for free? Welcome adventurers to the welcoming peaks of Whiskey Mountain. Welcome. Welcome. Warmly welcome. The people on the dock were holding banners and waving colorful flags loudly. This scene stunned several people who were preparing to fight on the ship. They were all ready to fight, but the result was a welcome. There was actually a town that welcomed pirates. The Grand Line is indeed different. Haha, I didn't expect the people here to be so enthusiastic. Those two people didn't lie to us. Luffy was very happy. He is happy when there is excitement anyway. Being welcomed by someone for the first time was really a bit unaccustomed. Usopp is no longer afraid. He doesn't have to fight anyway. Although he is now very strong, his timidity has not changed. Maybe it's just his nature. Welcome to our town, my name is Akaram, and I am the mayor of Whiskey Peak. Akaram smiled and welcomed the few people off the boat very gentlemanly. I'm Luffy, please take care of me. Luffy said, pointing at Akaram and saying, Uncle, your head is too curly. This is a town famous for its brewing and music, and entertaining guests is what we are most proud of. How about coming to the banquet with me? Akaram smiled slightly. Very willing to. Luffy immediately shouted excitedly. Several other people were also extremely excited. In this sea, there is nothing happier than attending a banquet. Everyone, hurry up and get ready, the banquet is about to be held. Akaram shouted. The people around him also cheered immediately. This is too abnormal. Nami looked at these people, and there were weird things everywhere. Now that you've arrived, you're welcome, don't worry, just enjoy the banquet. Baiyu said from the side. Zoro glanced at Baiyu and said nothing. Then he walked into the town together. The banquet started soon. A large group of people were eating and drinking together, which was very lively. Sanji was surrounded by a large group of women. He was so happy. Zoro drank heavily there. There was a large group of people around Usopp who listened to his bragging. Nami was drinking with others in the competition, because the first place had a bonus of 100,000 belly. Baiyu and Lu, the two of them, were eating crazily. The chef had already fainted from exhaustion. Everyone was having a great time. It was as if they didn't know there was any danger here. I am the strongest officer of the Straw Hats. Author, Super Red. Chapter 34. Navy Headquarters. Cap. Don't you want to say something to me? Jongguo shouted loudly while holding the phone. Corruption here in Donghai is too serious and needs to be dealt with for a period of time. I will be in Donghai during this time. Garp said and threw a piece of senbei into his mouth. Click. After Sengoku heard the voice of senbei, veins popped up on his forehead, and the phone bug almost burst. Asshole. I'm asking you what you did this month. I'm in the East China Sea. Get back here right now. Genkuo already felt like he was going to be pissed to death. I'll go back after catching a few scum, that's it. After Garp finished speaking, he hung up the phone. Sengoku of the Navy headquarters finally angrily attacked his desk, and Garp also sighed and looked at the sky. Big or small, there is no province. Heartfelt. At that time, the party at Whiskey Peak continues. It has been open from morning to evening. The Straw Hats didn't feel tired at all. Especially Luffy and Baiyu, they have exhausted several chefs. Others just had drinks and wine, and that was fine. But Whiskey Peak itself lacks food, and now most of it is eaten directly by these two guys. These pirate hunters are heartbroken. No. We can't let them continue to eat, find a way to make them fall. Akaram narrowed his eyes. If he continues to eat, they will all be hungry tomorrow. These people look stupid, they are complete newcomers, why should we act? We can just kill them, and waste so much food. Mr. 8 said, very dissatisfied that they almost died in search of food today. They are still so wasteful now, and their hard work is simply not regarded as hard work. Never judge strength by appearance. I have already investigated and found out that they are the pirate group with the highest bounty in the East China Sea. Akaram took out the reward orders for all members of the Straw Hat Pirates. This is too scary. The total reward for all members exceeds 100 million belly. This is just a pirate group of 6 people. We'd better find a way to drink them down, otherwise we won't be able to defeat them with our own strength. The pirate hunters were frightened when they saw the bounty. The lowest bounty offered by these people was 8 million, which was too scary. After knowing the bounty of the Straw Hats, they worked even harder. Even they fainted, the chefs woke up again. More than 100 people served 6 people. This also made the Straw Hats even happier. Then, the banquet lasted for a day and a night. More than 100 people were exhausted. However, it was finally completed. Mission. All 6 of the Straw Hats fell to the ground and fell asleep. What kind of monsters are these? So much energy. Kill it quickly, don't wake up again later. No, killing them will reduce the bounty by 30%. The Navy wants to execute them publicly. Everyone is here, right? All here. Let's do it, tie them all up, we've got 100 million belly. I advise you not to do this, people will die. Bayou and Sauron appeared on the roof. Damn it! Didn't you say they all fell down? Akaram's expression changed immediately. These 2 people, one is the pirate hunter Zorro and the other is the mysterious vice captain. Neither one is easy to deal with. What are you afraid of? There are only 2 of them, there are so many of us. If you haven't fallen down, just knock it down, even though it will waste a little time. That's all we can do, move faster and don't wake others up. Akaram could only nod in agreement. You come or I come. Zolong looked at Bayou. You should go play and I'll go see Nami. Bayou said and disappeared. He didn't have time to play with these people. Wouldn't it be nice to be with Nami? Really, I happen to eat a little too much, so I just want to play with you and digest it. Zorro pulled out a knife. One knife was enough to deal with these people. He was even thinking about whether he should also bring a small knife with him. Really, so poor. Just this little thing. Nami looked unhappy. She thought how much money these people could have. But she was so poor that she wasted so much time. Okay, how many people do you think this group of people can have? We ate and drank, and that's about it? Bayou knows that this group of people, let alone their strength, will have a problem eating after they leave, let alone money. Where is Zorro? Nami carried a small bag of treasure on her back. He exercises after meals. Bayou smiled and said, follow me, and I will help you make a lot of money. As soon as she heard about making a lot of money, Nami's eyes immediately lit up. Where? Don't worry, it will be available soon. Let's watch the excitement for a while. Bayou took Nami's little hand and walked out. Outside, Zorro was having a lot of fun. More than 100 people had been taken care of by him. Waste. Can't even deal with one person. Unexpectedly, there was an unexpected gain this time. We accepted 100 million belly. A man and a woman came over. The pirate hunter who fell on the ground suddenly panicked when he saw these 2 people. Senior Agent of Baroque Works, Mr. 5. MS Valentine's Day. Mr. 5, you have come at the right time. Hurry and kill this swordsman, one of them is still alive. Akaram shouted quickly. We are not here to help you. If you fail the mission, please wait for the punishment from the boss. But you may not have a chance, Akaram, the captain of the Alabasta Guards. Mr. 5 looked at Akaram with a smile. Akaram was shocked. He didn't expect that their identities would be discovered. He immediately stood up with a struggle. Princess. They are here to kill us. I'll stop them, you run away. Akaram. Wei didn't expect that her identity would be exposed so quickly, and she would directly send Mr. 5 to kill them. Don't worry, none of you can escape. Ms. Valentine floated up and blocked Wei's escape path, and laughed. That's not necessarily the case. I am the strongest officer of the Straw Hats. Author, Super Red. Chapter 35. That's not necessarily the case. The sudden appearance of Baiyu and Nami surprised several people. Even Zoro was a little strange. He knew that Baiyu was not a nosy person. Why did he take the initiative to find trouble this time? But Nami immediately understanding Baiyu's intention, he walked to Wei's side and said, You are a princess, right? You concealed your identity and joined this working company for the sake of your country, right? Although Wei was a little confused, she nodded. That's right, you shouldn't be opponents of these people, right? Nami asked again. What exactly do you want to say? Wei frowned. These two guys are here to kill you. If you can't defeat them, you will definitely die, but you probably don't want to die. When Nami said this, she glanced at Baiyu and said, he is very strong. You have seen how powerful Zoro is. Zoro can't even defeat him. As long as you pay 1 billion belly, we can protect you. Safety. 1 billion. Wei was shocked. If it were in the past, there would be no problem for their kingdom to come up with 1 billion belly. But now, it would be great if they could get 1 billion belly, and they might not even be able to come up with it. No way, you are a princess, you can't afford such a small amount of money. Nami looked surprised. In her opinion, the princess must be very rich. Mr. 5, it seems that some people are trying to cause trouble, should they all be killed, Ms. Valentine said. Let's go, Ms. Valentine's Day. Let them know how powerful the senior agents of Baroque Works are. Okay, Mr. 5. What a good person you are. Didn't you see that I was talking about business? Nami was instantly furious, arcs of electricity flashed all over her body, and she kicked Ms. Valentine away. Ah! My nose. Mr. 5 fell to the ground, his face covered with blood. Baiyu put the knife back into its sheath, let's see how you pick your nose. So strong. Wei was shocked. She didn't see how Baiyu took action. Right? I said he was very strong. How about it? 1 billion Baileys isn't expensive, right? Nami smiled and looked at Wei. Thank you for saving me, but I don't have that much money, and the enemy I have to face is too powerful, even you are no match. Wei shook her head and sighed. She was excited for a moment. If these people can really defeat Crocodile, then her kingdom will be saved. But when she thought of Crocodile's identity, I just gave up. Not everyone can deal with it. No money. Nami lost interest in an instant. What's the point of talking if we don't have money? Wait a moment. Although Her Highness the Princess and I have no money, as long as you send Her Highness the Princess to the Kingdom of Alabasta, the king will definitely not treat you badly. Akaram shouted quickly. He knew very well that their identities were exposed, and with Crocodile's character, he would never let them go. Even if the immediate crisis could be solved, they would not be able to return to Alabasta safely. Akaram. Wei shouted. What she was actually worried about wasn't money. It was pirates. By the way, who is your enemy that makes you so afraid? Nami asked very puzzledly. I can't say it. If I say it, you will all die. Wei quickly shook her head. Then you'd better not. Crocodile, one of the king's 7 warlords. Wei said suddenly. Can't you say it? Nami yelled loudly. Although she knew that they were very strong now, she also knew that they were relatively strong among ordinary pirates. How could they be opponents in the face of big pirates like the Shishibukai? Our boss is Crocodile, one of the 7 warlords. Mr. Five's eyes widened, a little unbelievable. Ms. Valentine was also frightened. None of them knew the identity of the boss, and no one dared to investigate the identity of the boss. Unexpectedly, the boss turned out to be Shishibukai. But then he was stunned. Suddenly, they knew the identity of the boss. Wouldn't they also be killed by the boss? At this moment, a big vulture flew across the sky. There was also a sea otter sitting on top of the vulture. Oops! It's an unlucky duo. Wei was immediately shocked. An unlucky duo? Nami asked doubtfully. They are Crocodile's spies. They heard what we just said, and Crocodile soon knew about us. Wei said quickly. What? Why didn't you tell me earlier? Nami yelled and prepared to take out coins to attack. But at this time, the unlucky duo had already flown away. It's over. Mr. Five and Ms. Valentine's Day were 2 people slumped on the ground with despair on their faces. It's all your fault. Even death. I will also take you to be buried with you. Mr. Five roared angrily and rushed towards Bayou quickly. Don't overestimate your capabilities. Bayou disappeared instantly, and when he appeared, he was already behind Mr. Five. The knife had been sheathed. Poof. Mr. Five's body was directly divided into 2 halves. Mr. Five? Asshole. I kill you. 10,000 kilograms. Capping. Ms. Valentine's Day floated into the air and quickly hit Bayou. Idiot. Bayou casually slashed, and Valentine's body separated in 2 and fell to the ground. Gilug. Wei swallowed, it was so scary. Even Nami was scared. This was the first time she saw Bayou use a knife. Okay, let's sign the agreement. We will send you back to Alabasta. When you get there, you will pay us 1 billion belly. If you don't have the money, you can use other things to pay off the debt. Bayou said indifferently. Good. Wei nodded quickly. Then, Bayou and Wei signed an agreement. A pleasure to work with. Bayou smiled and stretched out his hand. A pleasure to work with. Wei's hands were very stiff because it was too scary when Bayou killed someone just now. Then go to bed early and set off early tomorrow morning. After Bayou said that, he took Nami back to rest. Tomorrow, this. Before Wei finished speaking, Bayou had disappeared. Zoro. Get out of here. Luffy shouted loudly with his big belly. Zoro was sitting on the roof drinking, and he vaguely heard Luffy calling him. Luffy, what are you doing so late? Before he could finish his words, Luffy's fist had already hit him. Asshole! Are you crazy? Zoro was startled and dodged the punch. You ungrateful bastard! It's up to me to fight him off. Luffy roared and rushed towards Zoro. Ungrateful? Zoro was stunned for a moment. When has he ever done anything ungrateful? But there is no way to think about it now. Luffy has already rushed over. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I am the strongest officer of the Straw Hats. Author, Super Red. Chapter 36. Asshole. Are you serious? Zoro shouted loudly while defending himself. I want to see who is better with my rubber or your knife. Luffy said coldly. Okay, I also want to see who is stronger between us. Zoro didn't want to care about the reason. If you want to fight, then let's fight. It happened that he had just drank some wine and exercised to sober up. At this moment, Baiyu appeared next to the two people with an angry face. Bang! Bang! Two people were knocked to the ground directly. You two, keep your voices down. Baiyu was very depressed. He almost broke through Nami's last line of defense. But he was interrupted by these two bastards. He was very angry. It was Luffy, the idiot, who provoked me first. Why did you hit me? This bastard Sauron even chopped down the people who entertained us. Why did you hit me? Both of them looked aggrieved. Luffy, was your hacky eaten by a dog? Do you still want to say it? Baiyu knocked Luffy on the head again. Then he turned around and knocked Zoro on the head. You do the same, don't you know how to make it clear to him? What's going on? Luffy asked with a confused look on his face. You two, tell me, don't let the fight affect my sleep. We are leaving for Alabasta tomorrow. I have accepted an order for 1 billion belly. Give it to me. A billion belly. 1 billion belly can buy a lot of meat. Luffy and Zoro's eyes widened. They haven't had much money since they went to sea. Most of them belong to Nami. They can be said to be the poorest pirates. Now suddenly they have a billion shells. Lee, how can you not be surprised by this? It's good to know that, and sleep well at night, maybe someone will come to assassinate you. After Baiyu said that, he left directly and went back to see if he could continue. At that time, Alabasta. Monkey D. Luffy. Crocodile looked at Luffy's reward order. The first time a bounty was offered, it was 30 million belly, which was rare. Robin leaned against the wall with a glass of red wine in his hand. Just work hard and go there in person to deal with all the people there. My identity must not be exposed. Crocodile's face was extremely gloomy. His plan was about to succeed. There is absolutely no room for any mistakes at this time. You are really cruel and ruthless, there are many people there. Robin said expressionlessly. What, do you have any opinion? Crocodile narrowed his eyes slightly. No, Robin said as he put the wine glass on the table and left the room with elegant steps. Whiskey Mountain was very calm and there was no movement. Everyone slept well that night. Of course, excluding Waiwei and Ikarim. The two of them were in fear all night. Finally, they waited until daybreak. By the way, what happened last night? Usopp and Sanji both looked confused. The town that was lively yesterday was now deserted in the blink of an eye, and there were many corpses. You two idiots. Those are bad guys. Luffy shouted loudly. It's like you're not an idiot. Sauron said from the side. Okay, let's set sail. When we got on the boat, I said, Nami, go call Waiwei. Baiyu interrupted the fight between these people. If a fight breaks out, who knows how long these guys will delay it. Good morning everyone, sorry about what happened before. Waiwei came over and apologized very politely. There is no need to apologize. After all, we have signed an agreement and are considered partners. You should have a permanent pointer to Alabasta. Baiyu asked. Yeah, there is. Waiwei nodded. Then let's go. Baiyu didn't explain much. Anyway, Luffy and Zoro already knew it. Just let them and Sanji explain. After arriving at the dock, Baiyu stopped. It's not nice to board someone else's pirate ship without permission. I quite like this ship, what a shame. Robin stood on the bow of the Golden Melee. Asshole. That's my special seat. Luffy got angry when he saw Robin standing in his special seat. You. Why are you here? When Waiwei saw Robin, she was immediately frightened. Who is she? Nami asked curiously. Senior agent of Baroque Works, MS all Sundays, partner of Mr. Zero. Wei looked at Robin warily. Mr. Zero isn't that crocodile. Nami was startled and quickly hid behind Bayou. Nico Robin, son of the devil, are you here to kill us? Bayou smiled. This time there were 2 female crew members. This was a great harvest. Nicole Robin. Everyone else was shocked. The name of the devil's son is too loud. After all, he was offered a bounty of 79 million belly at the age of 8. It's hard not to know. Robin's expression changed. How do you know me? I know more than you think. Bayou still has a smile on his face. Originally I didn't intend to kill you, but now that you know my identity, you can only apologize. After Robin finished speaking, he crossed his hands over his heart, preparing to activate the fruit ability. Bayou appeared in front of Robin in an instant, and put the knife in his hand on Robin's neck. Who are you? Cold sweat broke out on Robin's forehead. My name is Bayou, the vice captain of the Straw Hat Pirates, and I currently have a bounty of 28 million. Bayou made a detailed self-introduction. It seems that everyone underestimated the Straw Hat Pirates. Robin knew that she was definitely not Bayou's opponent. The moment Bayou took action, several other people also burst out with powerful power. At this moment, she understood why these people had so high bounties for the first time. I am the strongest officer of the Straw Hats. Author, Super Red. Chapter 37. What about your choice, Nicole Robin? Bayou asked very directly. Do I have a choice now? A smile appeared on Robin's face. Over the years, she has become accustomed to it, and she is even a little tired. Luffy, is there no problem for her to join our pirate team? Bayou turned to look at Luffy. Is she a good person? Should be a good person. Oh well. Thank you, Captain and Vice Captain, please give me your advice in the future. Robin said with a smile. Where is such a simple thing? Nami yelled at the side. She couldn't understand what Bayou and Luffy were doing. She somehow let the enemy join the pirate group. Others also couldn't understand what Bayou and Luffy were doing. Nico Robin, welcome to the Straw Hat Pirates. Although I know you, no one else does. You'd better introduce yourself. A smile appeared on Bayou's face. My name is Nicole Robin, just like the deputy captain said, I am called the Devil's Son, and I am an archaeologist. I just want to live and explore the history of this world. Robin introduced himself very generously. No problem now, let's go. Bye. You said and jumped on the boat. Luffy also immediately returned to his exclusive special seat, sail. Miss Robin, let's have some breakfast of love. Sanji came to Robin with a plate of exquisite breakfast. Thanks. Robin was not polite. She took it and ate it. Her eyes widened after one bite. She found that after taking this bite of food, all the cells in her body seemed to come alive, and even the power of the devil fruit seemed to be strong. Enhanced. Although Sanji is a bit lecherous, his cooking skills are definitely the best in the world. If he eats regularly, his strength will be enhanced. Bayou said from the side. It's really amazing. Robin was not polite and ate up the entire plate without leaving anything behind. Princess Vivi, this is for you. Sanji ignored Bayou's words and brought a plate of breakfast to Wai Wei. Thanks. Wai Wei was also very curious about what kind of food can increase strength. Sanji then brought another one to Nami, and then after thinking about it, he cut off another one for Bayou. Then he started eating by himself. Asshole. Here's ours. Luffy, Zoro, and Usopp shouted in unison. Go to the kitchen and get it yourself. Sanji said and started to continue eating. Asshole. Too different a treatment. Kill him sooner or later. I'm going to eat. After Usopp finished speaking, he rushed directly to the kitchen. He didn't dare to say harsh words to Sanji like Luffy and Zoro did. Some food was already very good. That, although a bit presumptuous, can I eat it? Akaram said carefully. Of course, feel free to do so, there's plenty more, but you have to be quick, if it's too late, they'll finish it. Sanji said very gentlemanly. Thanks. Akaram rushed over immediately. Luffy. This is mine. Spit it out. Ahem, I've eaten it all, how could I spit it out? Zoro. Why did you rob me? Bang. 3 people rushed out of the kitchen and struggled with each other. You 3 bastards. Didn't I tell you not to fight in the kitchen? Sanji rushed over angrily and joined the battle group. Both Vivi and Robin had strange expressions on their faces. They had never seen such a pirate group before. The captain did not have the majesty of the captain. The crew did not look like crew members. They even started fighting over a breakfast. The deputy captain and navigator were still so calm. No need to make a fuss, we are all used to it. Nami was eating very calmly. What a fun pirate group. Robin smiled and looked at Bayou. You plan to go directly to Alabasta? I'm considering it too. Bayou is also a little confused in his heart. Chopper must not be left behind. But in this situation, it is really difficult to go to Drum Island. You do not believe me? Asked Robin. Of course not. Bayou said, pointing his finger on Robin's eyebrows. When Robin got on the boat, Bayou had already obtained Robin's exclusive skill. And this skill also shocked Bayou. Immortal technique, thousands of true hands, top Buddha transformation, a modified version of the would release senjutsu from the world of Naruto. It is an immortal technique that can be performed based on fruit abilities without the need for chakra and sage mode. Bayou was also shocked when he first saw this skill. He thought that when Dazu used this ninjutsu, Kuwabai was pressed to the ground and rubbed. And before using this trick, you can still pretend to be 13. I'll give you a hand. But Wai Wei's skills are a bit embarrassing. He doesn't even know whether to give it or not. Transformation, from the Dragon Ball world, you can transform into any creature or object. Due to different world rules, the skill effects may vary, please experience it yourself. This skill can be said to be useful, but it can also be said to be useless. Originally, he thought the system would also give him a skill similar to that of Gun's sister. Although this can be considered a superpower, its usefulness is really limited. But it's better than nothing. Maybe after modification, there will be unexpected effects. Wai Wei, now that we are on the ship, even though we have only signed an agreement, we are still half partners. Let me give you some gifts. Bayou pointed his finger on Wai Wei's head. Let him see how the transformation technique from the Dragon Ball world will change in the pirate world. I am the strongest officer of the Straw Hats. Author, Super Red. Chapter 38. Thank you, Vice Captain. Robin opened her eyes and looked at Bayou with a smile. She found that her choice this time was really correct. Although she did not fully understand the skill, she could still feel that it was powerful. If she could maximize the skill, then she has the strength to live. So her thank you is a truly heartfelt thank you. Thank you, Vice Captain. Wai Wei also thanked her immediately. This is simply a super powerful fruit ability. And it's a super ability that doesn't require you to become a landlubber. This can no longer be bought with money. Robin. Wai Wei. What skills does Bayou give you? Use them quickly and let me see. Luffy stopped playing with a few people. The other 3 people also looked at the 2 women curiously. The skills the Vice Captain taught me are not easy to display here, but they are related to my fruit ability. By the way, I seem to have forgotten to mention that after I ate the Huawa fruit, my whole body could bloom like a flower. When Robin spoke, he also introduced his abilities. I learned the art of transformation, which allows me to transform into anyone and any object. Wei said and turned into Baiyu. Amazing. Luffy's eyes suddenly lit up, become me now. Sorry, I'm just learning now. The transformation can only last for 1 minute, and I have to rest for 5 minutes before I can transform again. Wei said and turned into her own appearance. Practice hard and you will be able to change as you wish in the future. Baiyu said. He was a little surprised after knowing the effect of this skill. If this skill can be fully mastered, all parts of the body can be changed at will. And other objects and people can also be changed. It is not called a magical skill. Too much. Originally, he wanted to find more crew members and acquire more skills. But now it seems that it is completely unnecessary. Now if these skills can be used to the extreme, they will be enough to dominate the world. However, he has no ambition to dominate the world. He just wants to live a free and unrestrained life. He sleeps until he wakes up naturally every day, wants money, women, and brothers. It feels good to have a party and drink together if nothing happens, and occasionally take risks. Vice Captain. Please teach me the art of transformation. Sanji knelt down on one knee very seriously. Although the ability he wanted most was the transparent fruit. But now he has changed his mind. He wants the transformation technique. Transform into a woman, and then he can enter the ladies' bathroom. Okay, if you want to learn it, I can only take back your god-level cooking skills. How could Baiyu not know Sanji's obscene thoughts? That's a shame. Sanji simply turned around and left. Although the transformation technique is very good, in his heart, it is absolutely incomparable to the god-level cooking technique. Baiyu, are we heading directly to Alabasta now? Nami asked. Then let's head towards Alabasta first. Baiyu thought for a moment and decided to deal with Crocodile first. As for Chopper, it's best to just spend some time looking for him. Boom. A cannonball exploded beside the ship, picking up a splash of water. Oh no. It's a pirate ship. Usopp shouted loudly. Well, I know, I leave it to you Usopp. Baiyu said, grabbing Usopp, throwing him out with great force, and landed accurately on the enemy's pirate ship. Will he be okay? Robin asked in surprise. Don't worry, even though Usopp is timid, he is very strong, but his timidity still needs to be tempered. Baiyu clearly knows Usopp's strength. He is the strongest among all the people. He has also mastered most of the spear fighting skills. Now, even if Usopp faces major general level combat power, he still has some skills. The power of war. Of course, it would be a different story if you are a natural type ability user. At this time, Usopp was not well. He was surrounded by a group of ferocious-looking pirates, with their guns and blades all pointed at them. Wait. Wait a moment. Don't do it yet. Usopp shouted loudly. He even scolded Baiyu bloody in his heart. Do you want to ask for mercy? Asked the pirate. You have also seen that I was thrown here by them. I am not on the same side as them. I will join you and help you kill them. Usopp immediately thought of a way. The pirate glanced at Usopp and saw how his whole body was trembling, so he believed it a little bit. Then let us kill them together. Kids. Fire. The pirate roared, and dense cannonballs rushed towards the Golden Mary. Asshole. You are not allowed to attack the melee. Usopp roared angrily and took out 2 guns on his body. Bang bang bang. The bullets flew out. But instead of hitting the pirates on the ship, they hit the cannonballs. Boom boom boom, the shells were flying. It exploded in mid-air. Asshole. What have you been doing? The pirate was very angry and put a gun on Usopp's head. Usopp sneered, the worst thing I can do is have someone point a gun at my head. Coward. You wanna die? The pirate said and was about to pull the trigger. I bet there are no bullets in your gun. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I am the strongest officer of the Straw Hats. Author, Super Red. Chapter 39. Nami, please bring the ship closer. The gunfire is over and Usopp should have been solved. Bayou said with a smile. If this group of pirates didn't take the initiative to attack them, he naturally wouldn't take the initiative to attack them. Since he does it, he has to risk his life. This is a pirate. Bayou, can you let me go first next time? I'm the captain. Luffy looked aggrieved. He also wanted to fight. This looks like a group of minions who don't understand anything, and if Usopp's timidity is not tempered, big trouble will really happen. Bayou is also very helpless. He is really heartbroken for these crew members. Although he is timid, he is really powerful when he can deal with a pirate group by himself. Robin was also a little surprised by Usopp's strength. She had specifically investigated the Straw Hat Pirates. All the crew members here were from the East China Sea. In the East China Sea, the weakest place, it was possible to find so many powerful crew members. It's really possible. Said it was a miracle. Our pirate group is different from other pirate groups. We have a small number, so all members must have fighting ability. Whether they are navigators or chefs, they can all work independently. Bayou doesn't like to lead those minions who can only call 666. This kind of elite group is what he wants, and what Luffy wants. When he spoke, the melee had already docked on the pirate ship. Bayou. Why did you throw me here? Do you know how dangerous it was just now? Usopp jumped to Bayou's side, grabbed Bayou's clothes and started questioning loudly. Aren't you okay? Bayou smiled. Asshole. Next time you dare to throw me out, I will. What about you? Bye. You looked at Usopp with a smile. Okay, you did a good job this time, and I will share some of the treasure with you. Then several people boarded the pirate ship and began to carry supplies. This pirate group is too poor. Nami scraped out a small bag of treasure and was very dissatisfied. It's good to have it. Once you've packed it up, you can set off quickly. Bayou didn't care, it was just a small episode. What's this? Sanji took out a small box. Let me see. Bayou took the box and crushed the lock. Inside was a fruit that looked like a cantaloupe, but it had a spiral pattern that looked like tang grass. It was very strange. It seems we are in luck. Bayou didn't expect that after solving an unknown pirate group, he could get a devil fruit. Although he didn't know what kind of fruit it was, the value of the devil fruit was at least 100 million Baileys. This devil fruit is similar to the one I ate. Luffy said with some surprise. Devil fruits are basically the same, so put them away first and wait until you find out which fruit they are. Bayou won't eat devil fruit anyway. He doesn't want to become a landlubber. After collecting all the loot, the Golden Melee set sail again. The Melee is just a small sailing ship and its sailing speed is not fast. Therefore, he wants to reach Ala. It takes at least 3 to 4 days to sail to Baston. After 2 days of sailing, Robin and Vivi, who were newly on board, gradually became familiar with each other. Watching Luffy and the others play around every day made them very happy and relaxed. However, there will never be calm on the Grand Line. Today, they encountered a storm. Hurry up and furl your sails. Nami shouted loudly. The sails were folded. The Golden Merly was like a lonely boat in the turbulent sea, and it could sink at any time. The bottom of the boat is leaking. Make it up quickly. Bayou didn't dare to be careless at this time, and took charge of the helm himself. Everyone was busy. But it was still a drop in the bucket. The storm was too big, and it came without warning. This is the Grand Line, and anything can happen. We can no longer proceed along this route. We have to change course. Even if we can hold on, the Mary can't hold on. Nami shouted loudly. Luffy, you make the decision. Bayou said. The Melee is also our partner. We can't put our partners in danger, so let's change the course. Luffy said seriously. Change course immediately. Everyone pours their domineering energy into the Melee and protects the hull. Bayou immediately shouted loudly. Fortunately, they have mastered the armed haki. Although it is only elementary, it can also play a certain protective role on the Melee. Otherwise, they would have sunk long ago. The storm lasted for a whole one night. When the storm ended, all the people on the ship were exhausted and lying on the ground. The Melee was also scarred. The mast was broken, the sails were broken, and the hull was damaged in many places. If it weren't for Bayou and the others, with domineering protection, the Melee was about to be buried in the sea. Snow suddenly fell in the sky. The temperature also dropped rapidly. Everyone lying on the ground was immediately awakened by the cold. Is this the weather on the Grand Line? Bayou glanced at the hazy sky and was a little speechless. He just experienced a storm, and now it's winter again. Oops! Nami exclaimed. What's wrong? Bayou asked quickly. Alabasta's permanent pointer is missing. Nami fell to the ground. The record pointer was not full of magnetism and could not reach the next island. If they could not find the next island, they would be lost in the sea. What? Weiwei's eyes widened. Without the permanent pointer, they would not be able to return to Alabasta quickly. Don't panic yet, let's head towards the snowy direction first, maybe there will be an island. Bayou is not panicked at all. Although the plot has changed now. But overall, it is still within control. Since God asked him to find Chopper first, let's go to Drum Island first. And Luffy compared with the unreliability of Bayou, Bayou is the backbone of everyone on the ship. Therefore, after hearing Bayou's words, everyone was not so panicked. While sailing slowly, they repaired the Melee. It's a pity that they don't know how to repair the ship. The originally lovely Melee was made to look like a beggar. But fortunately it can barely sail. After the ship is parked, it will be repaired properly. Look! There is an island ahead. Haha! We can finally go ashore. Very good. Long live the vice captain. After a group of people saw the island, they jumped for joy. But at this time, a huge iron ship also appeared in front of them. I am the strongest officer of the Straw Hats. Author, Super Red. Chapter 40. The iron boat suddenly appeared and rushed towards them. There is absolutely no intention of changing course. If it were hit by this huge iron boat, the Melee would definitely be shattered to pieces. Even if they fall into the cold water, they will die. Change course quickly. Bayou shouted quickly, he realized something was wrong. This ship looked familiar to him. You stay on the boat while I go over to take a look. Bayou said and rushed over on the moon steps. Your Majesty the King. Someone flew over. Fly over? Walpole was stunned for a moment, how could a person fly? But after he saw Bayou, he was also frightened. Quick! This guy must be from the Blackbeard pirates. Kill him! Valpo shouted in a panic. Then the cannon immediately aimed at Bayou. Boom! The shells flew out. Bayou waved his hand and the shells flew out. They landed directly on the ship. Seeing the iron-chinned Valpo and Bayou were also stunned for a moment. And just now Valpo seemed to think that he was a member of the Blackbeard pirates. He immediately thought that Blackbeard had been to Drum Island. Valpo attacked Drum Island because of Blackbeard, he abandoned his country and his people and fled. But the timeline is a bit inconsistent. In the original book, when the Straw Hats came to Drum Island, Valpo had already been a pirate on the sea for several months. But the situation has already been explained. Valpo has just escaped from Drum Island and has not yet become a pirate. What did you just say? Bayou said coldly. Go to hell. Valpo suddenly became violent and opened his big mouth, trying to swallow Bayou into his stomach. Bang! Bayou kicked Valpo out and hit the ship's board. Is Blackbeard on Drum Island? Bayou stepped on Valpo's belly. Yes. The Blackbeard pirates are attacking my kingdom. Hero. Please help me. Save my kingdom. Valpo immediately burst into tears and began to ask Bayou for help. When did Blackbeard start attacking, and what is the situation on Drum Island now? Bayou asked again. Blackbeard just attacked, and now my army is resisting. I want to ask for help. Please help me. As long as I can drive away the Blackbeard pirates, I will not treat you badly. Valpo still refused to give up and asked for help. Yeah? Then give me all the treasures and supplies on the ship now, and I will help you deal with Blackbeard. How could Bayou not know who Valpo is? It's impossible to save him. He'll grab it first and then talk about it? I came out in a hurry, I didn't bring any treasures with me. Valpo's eyes flickered, obviously he was lying. Really? Then let me see. Bayou will not believe Valpo. Okay, no problem, I'll take the adults there right now. Valpo immediately nodded in agreement. At this moment, 3 sharp arrows flew over. Bayou ducked sideways, and 3 arrows hit Valpo directly. Ah! Valpo screamed. It seems that we can only deal with them first. The famous sword in Bayou's hand returned to the wind and unsheathed. The figure disappeared instantly. The people on the boat fell one after another. Some people jumped off the boat immediately when they saw this situation. Bayou! I am coming! Luffy roared and ejected directly over. These 2 bastards! How dare you eat alone? Zoran was very angry. I went over to take a look first, and the stupid green algae head could only watch. Sanji said as he stepped on the moon steps and rushed over. Asshole! I'll kill you sooner or later. Zoro gritted his teeth angrily, but there was nothing he could do. He couldn't walk on the moon and didn't have the ability to use the rubber fruit. Let's hurry over and help. Wei said very worriedly. Help. The corner of Nami's mouth twitched, and the 3 guys passed by. It was definitely not them who needed help, but the people on the iron boat. Although this was true, Nami still docked the boat. Of course, it wasn't in order to help Bayou and the others, he collected the loot. Such a big ship must have a lot of treasures. Although Valpo ran away in a hurry, as a king, he still had a lot of treasures. Looking at the piles of treasures, Nami also had a smile on her face. Now there is good news and bad news, which one do you want to hear? Bayou looked at everyone and said. The good news? Asked Robin. The good news is that there is magnetic Drum Island in front of us. We only need to stay here for 3 days to record the pointer and charge up the magnetism, and then we can go to Alabasta. Bayou said slowly. What about the bad news? Nami asked. The bad news is that there is a group of powerful pirates on Drum Island now, and I am not sure I can defeat them. Bayou said very carefully. He really doesn't know if he is Blackbeard's opponent now. Although Blackbeard has not obtained the Zhen fruit, he is definitely very powerful. A powerful pirate group. Luffy's eyes suddenly lit up. Does that pirate group have swordsmen? Zoran's eyes showed fighting spirit. I haven't had enough fun just now, and another round will be enough. Sanji also stood up. Okay, let's go meet the Blackbeard pirates for a while. When Bayou saw the decisions of several people, he was ready to fight Blackbeard. Etc. You mean the Blackbeard pirates? Robin was shocked. She specializes in intelligence, How could she not know about Blackbeard? Are the Blackbeard pirates strong? Nami asked very curiously. Of course, Blackbeard teaches powerful. He turned out to be a member of the Whitebeard pirates, one of the 4 emperors of the New World. It is said that he betrayed the Whitebeard pirates and is now being hunted by the Whitebeard pirates. To be able to escape in front of the man who is called the strongest in the world, his strength is absolutely terrifying, and several members of the Blackbeard pirates are all notorious villains. Robin's face was very ugly. In her opinion, the Blackbeard pirates were more dangerous than Crocodile. Because even though Crocodile was powerful, he was only one person. But the Blackbeard pirates had 5 people. Since they are evil people, let us beat them away. Luffy yelled excitedly. Since it is the captain's order, then execute it and beat them away. Bayou smiled slightly. There's really nothing we can do to you. Don't get hurt. We don't have a ship's doctor here. Nami was very helpless, but she also knew that once these men made a decision, they would never change it. The ship's doctor will be available soon. Bayou looked in the direction of Seago Island.